Well, ladies and gents, I mean, again, this is kind of the gift that keeps on giving. This is just more comedy than anything else in terms of people's takes on this entire situation. Don't let this headline specifically kind of put you off the content of this video. It's more just taking a look at how hilariously bad people's takes on this are. And, sitting there and saying that, you can't comment on this if you're white. I mean, that's a hilariously bad take. Sitting there saying that just because it's... two black men, no one else can comment on it unless you're black. I mean, that's just an absolute joke. And then people's outrage on it is apparently because they're white and things like this. No, not really. Not really. So I just thought we would take a look at this because it is absolutely hilarious. People's commentary on the fact that the Oscars are completely irrelevant and, you shouldn't be doing this at the most, supposedly prestigious award show of the movie industry. I mean, you're debasing yourself, basically. You're lowering the standards. I mean, that's a pretty fair assessment of the situation. And then the discussion of comedy, free speech. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty fair discussion to have on it. But no, of course, we have to go to systemic racism and apparently inequality. That's right. According to them, the biggest victim of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock was black women. So, Teo Bero, this is just the first one. Self-described culture writer, aka grifter, that's all that is. Who recently wrote an opinion piece for The Guardian. I mean, that says it all. White outrage about Will Smith's slap is rooted in anti-blackness. It's inequality in plain sight. Yes, ladies and gents, that's right. People wanting to treat people fairly is inequality. In the piece, she talks about how she's bothered by the downright racist reaction of white people who are attacking Will Smith for his actions. Right, okay, so what about all the black people that don't like it? I mean, are they somehow racist? Like, what? And it's not racist. No one has said anything racial about them. In order to make her argument, Bero cites the comments made by two Jewish celebrities, producer Judd Apatow and radio host Howard Stern, as the basis for her case. So Apatow declared in a deleted tweet that Will Smith's actions were pure out-of-control rage and violence. I mean, they are. I mean, if you get up, stand up there and slap someone and then later apologise for it and go, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. I mean, it is out of control. You are no longer in control of yourself at that point in time. Or you are in control of yourself, but your actions are not that of a rational individual. And Stern later chimed in on his radio show comparing Smith's actions to former President Donald Trump, calling them the same person. That's a weird comparison, but alright. So in Bero's mind, Will Smith is just a black man who is defending his black wife. And she believes the outrage is not warranted. Right. Okay. Again, this person should sign up for the Olympics, because that's some great mental gymnastics. Bero then continues by bringing up a series of whataboutisms in an effort to defend Smith, Salt and Rock, on global television. She specifically brings up an incident in 1973 where Native American actor and activist Sacheen Littlefeather accepted the Oscar for Best Actor for Marlon Brando. Littlefeather claimed that John Wayne was waiting backstage to take me off, and he had to be restrained by 6 security men. Wayne told Entertainment Weekly if Brando had something to say, he should have appeared that night and stated his views instead of taking some little unknown girl and dressing her up in an Indian outfit. Because John Wayne being allegedly restrained by security is worse than Smith physically assaulting Chris Rock in front of the world on social media, according to this individual. But it gets worse. So not only does she accuse white people of pearl clutching, right, okay, over a slap because Will Smith is a black man. I mean, it'd be the same if it was can you imagine the outrage if it was a white dude getting up and slapping Chris Rock? I mean, this is the mental gymnastics these people have to do. Like, if you swap out the colour of people's skin, because these people are making it about colour here, and that's important, because if you then swap it out, then the argument falls flat, doesn't it? The outrage would be the outrage would be even more, actually, especially from these individuals that only see skin colour. No one looked at that. I mean, no sane person looked at that situation and went, "Oh, they're 2 black men. That's it." People went, sane people that don't see colour everywhere looked at that and went, "Christ, what the hell is going on here? What a shit show. That was all people's reaction was. These people are legitimately insane. But anyway, she also sets her sights on black people who have also have a problem with what Smith did. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith was one of the many public figures denouncing Will's accusations. Let's see what she says. So Stephen said, total BS by Will Smith. If his night is ruined because of this, he deserves it. The man has Denzel and Bradley Cooper trying to calm him down. For what? A joke about his wife in G.I. Joe. Come on. That shit was embarrassing. A very, very bad look. I love Will, but not after this BS. Pretty fair take. In fact, pretty calm take, to be honest. But what did she say? Well, Bero basically took his comments to mean something else entirely. Bero believes Stephen A's comments are the result of black people being forced to behave themselves in front of white people. I mean, surely that is a racist take in and unto itself. It's literally saying that black people cannot control themselves and they have to be forced to behave themselves. I mean, do you hear yourself? Do you legitimately hear yourself? You're basically saying that black people can't control themselves. I mean, that's absolutely disgraceful. I, for one, think everyone has the ability to be a normal civilian. Like, you know, to be civilized in this world. I mean, this is mental. She states, black people have been conditioned to constantly perform the most non-threatening version of themselves in order to retain white approval. The image of a black man being violent in a space notorious for its overwhelming whiteness must have felt like an abomination. No, I mean, it would have been bad if it was a white guy. It's the same thing. I mean, black people have been conditioned to constantly perform the most threatening, non-threatening version of themselves in order to retain white approval. No, it's just called being civilized. Do you think that people have to be like, what? You're mental. She continues, it's the black Hollywood equivalent of being dragged to a corner and told off by your parents for cutting up in public and embarrassing your family. Right, of course it is. So if you thought that Bero was the only person that had a bad take, oh no, we got more. So Maya Niguel Hoskin, a self-described race scholar, took to Medium to blame Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on white supremacy, of course. Hoskin makes a claim in her piece entitled, while we're talking about Will Smith's behaviour, let's also talk about the system that helped create it. This is going to be some epic racism, by the way, just as an FYI. This is about a much larger systemic issue rooted in white supremacist culture designed to police the behaviour of blacks amongst the who's who in Hollywood and beyond. Again, apparently stating the implication here is that black people cannot be civilised, which is disgusting. That is racist. Oh my god. According to her, black people are not held to the same standard as whites when it comes to fair treatment of trivial acts like assault. Hoskin believes that black people can't show any emotion other than complacency, apathy or agreeance, because if they don't, they won't receive the same equitable treatment that whites enjoy as a birthright. Well, I mean, he's not been charged. He's not been arrested. Right? He's fine. So there you go. It was literally assault. In that state, the state can actually just press charges anyway. They didn't. So there you go. That's not the same standard. You got Ezra Miller now being arrested for disorderly conduct, right? In Hawaii, a white guy. He was freed, obviously on bail, but he was arrested. I mean, come on now. This is just disgraceful behaviour. In case you didn't understand, Hoskin strongly believes that Will Smith was a victim of a racist system that was designed to incubate his frustrations because Chris Rock made a joke at the Oscars. That's right. That's it, yeah. There you go. Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. Black people most affected, apparently. What? Fuck. Oh my god. So anyway, we've got new Daniel Moody. Credits Will for not allowing Jada to be defenseless in the face of a passing joke. Black women are left alone to defend themselves. No, they're not. Jada Pinkett Smith wasn't left alone to shrug off her pain last night. She wasn't left alone to allow yet another joke at her expense roll off her back. She was protected. Yeah, but it's wrong. You can still be civilised. Black women have been slapped, beaten and abused by this nation for far too long. Okay, well, you want to talk about that? Let's talk about Native American women. All of their... there's a fascinating film called Wind River, which actually highlights the struggle it's taken for, like, you know, anything that happens to Native American women is actually not documented, or wasn't up until a certain point, if I remember rightly. That's a very powerful film. You should watch that. If you want to talk about minorities not having fair treatment, look at that, because that is disgraceful. So the generational pains that we have been forced to bear in public have lasted longer than a slap, right? The generational pains, that's not a thing. Then a slap with the Oscars is existing beyond the flesh, sure, whatever. I mean, it's just a joke. Like, I mean, the reaction is just a joke, and I thought we would just highlight it because this is just absolute nonsense. Again, you know, Will Smith slaps Chris Rock, white supremacy, black people most affected. I mean, it's just an absolute nonsense. And these takes are racist. Like, I get accused of being called racist. I, for one, think black people can 100% be civilized. I don't see why you can't. Why can't you? What's the issue? Like, what? It's just nonsense. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. Oh, God. Hopefully, unless there's even more absolute nonsense out of this might be one of the last videos I do on this whole situation. But we'll see. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage, because it is funny. Some of it's absolute gold. If you have, please do hit that thumbs up button. Please do share the video. Follow my second channel. There's a link in the description box to that. You might like it. It's really good fun. Vlogs, cars, all that good stuff. Just me out and about. And by the way, I've got legs, believe it or not. So there you go. Cheers. Take care.